All right, so welcome everyone. I'm Coach Julio. You can call me that. This is our strength and conditioning class. We meet Mondays at 9 and we go all the way until mid-December. So I think most of you have been with me in the past. If you haven't, well, hopefully you enjoy this class. We're gonna go over a few things at the moment. So if you want to just follow along briefly, I'll try and share the screen real quick just so we have a ballpark idea of what our course is gonna look like. So let's go ahead and get to it. I'm gonna share my screen. You might not have all these tiles that I do, but I'm going to share this one, which should represent our class. Okay. And again, the page might look a little different than yours, but I just want to highlight anything. So there is, there I am. If you want to follow my social media, there's that page. I really do recommend following the YouTube channel because in case you want to get any extra workouts in, then you could just find hundreds of videos there from previous classes. If we go down, there's a module here. So I would like for most of you, if not all, to just click on this link. This will just be up for this week and navigate to it. It's just going to have information on benefits on strength and conditioning, and then a little bit more information. We're just going to be adding a little bit more information this semester. But what's most important is this link right here. So this should be consistent throughout the semester. And this is where you need to click to make sure that you make this this session. So if you're in the Zoom class with me, this is the only way to access it. If you weren't able to log in, I think I'll send this recording video via email to everyone in the class, so you could at least know how to navigate in the future. So, and yeah, so if you scroll down, there's just some videos here already. Makes it a little bit easier for you to access any extra workouts you like to get in. These videos here are a little bit shorter. If you see me on the front page, those videos tend to be closer to that hour length. Okay. And then lastly, we have a bunch of different goals for ourselves. It could be getting stronger, improving our balance, um, just increasing our cardio, maybe shed a couple weights, a couple pounds, a couple weights, a couple pounds. So what we're going to be doing this semester that we haven't done in the past is going to be a baseline test. So if you were with me last week, we went over a few of the exercises that we're going to be testing today. And exercises we're going to be testing today are these here. It's going to be push-ups or push-ups variation for the amount of count, see how many we could do. Wall sit, we're gonna do that by time. If it's 5 seconds or 1 minute, we'll record that. Plank for duration as well. Chair squats, we'll do a demonstration of those, and then jumping jacks or side step jacks. So all of these are gonna, test our upper body strength, lower body, our core, our balance, and lower body. And then this is more of our cardio. So we're testing a lot of different factors that are going to benefit us, our health, long term. So that's what we're going to be doing today, testing. And then depending how we're feeling, then we'll add a little bit more towards the end. But I'll go a little bit more about that afterwards. So another thing, I left this one blank here. And this one's going to be more specific to you. So again, like I mentioned, if you want to increase your walks, if you want to just walk a little bit more, you could just give me that information. Or if you want to, just Jen, I'll use your example because I really liked it. Like Jen had the example when she's traveling, she wants to be able to carry her luggage a little bit easier or be able to carry her luggage overhead on the overhead compartment. So just little things like that. It could be just increasing your time gardening or whatnot. So That's going to be more specific for you. So I'll close the screen now. So this is as far as, this will get updated where it says week one. I'll change it every week and we'll have new topics. But that should be about the only change for this class. Everything else should be consistent. So the routine would be we come in, we might just do a little announcements like we did today. We'll do the warm up. As we're doing the warm up, I might go over like the subject we're covering that week, which could be anything between like a type of exercises to a type of supplement, something that has to do with our health. And then we'll go through the workout, which somewhere be around, I'd say like 45 to 50 minutes long. Um, for our workouts, being a strength and conditioning class, what I would recommend is having a set of dumbbells, if not a couple sets. Also having a kettlebell if possible, but your dumbbells should suffice for that. If you want resistance bands, those could help too for some movements. And when I say resistance bands, I usually talk about the mini bands, the ones that loop around your legs. Um, and then other than that, a chair, a yoga mat, and if you do have ankle weights, it wouldn't hurt to have them, but you don't have to get those, but it wouldn't hurt. And then yeah, we'll cool down and then we'll put the recording up on the front page in case you missed the class. But yeah, other than that, that should be kind of what this class runs like the next 8 weeks or so. I believe the only break we have between now and the last week of class, which is mid-December, might be Thanksgiving break. So, all right. Oof, I feel like I need to catch my breath. And also, have water nearby. Of course, have some water. But any questions? I know we have a couple new people here today. Um, appreciate you enrolling and joining the class. But any questions before we start? Let me see, now's the time. So feel free to always type in the chat if you have any questions. You could always unmute yourself. I love when people turn on their cameras. It's awesome. I don't feel so lonely here. So Jan and Debbie, thank you. And then other than that, let's do a warm up and then we're gonna go into the assessment. So what I am gonna ask is for the assessment. So I do have a table up on the front of the class. Are you guys comfortable if I leave that information there? Like if I put Debbie, your name and what you completed, and that just stays there? Just something that we could see visually, or is it something that we want to just keep off to the sides? This is just for our class, really.
It's okay with me.
I'm
Okay.
fine with it.
It's
Okay.
fine
Yeah.
with me.
Cool.
Yeah, I'm fine.
All right. Yeah. So like I said, it's just gonna be information, and the goal is just to improve on those numbers by the end of the semester. So maybe we could do like a little test run at week 4 or 5 just to see how much we progress. But we'll stick with that. So yeah. So let me get my shoes, and we'll get started. Forgot my water. I'll probably grab my water after these shoes. So. Hopefully these, let me see. Yesterday was my mother's 67th birthday, and we we went to an Argentinian steakhouse, and yeah, I feel like a brick right now, so I might be moving a little slower. Let me just put these shoes on. So yeah, how's everyone doing today? Pretty well. All right. And I do apologize for the class publishing so late, but yeah, we're here now. So, all right. And if you've been with me, we're gonna go through our warm up. We might add a couple new things, but we always want to make sure that we're doing some active work for our warm up. So, and I like tracking, um, see how many calories I've burned. So let's go ahead and turn our fitness tracker on. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and just begin by looking left to right. Starting to feel like fall. It's pretty breezy outside. The wind chimes are going. Hopefully summer's done. I like the fall and the winter months a little more. Up and down. Next circles. So what I'm thinking is if you when we do the 5 movements for the test, if you could just write them down on a piece of paper, and then before we leave, if you could just go on the chat and share those numbers with me on the chat so I could go ahead and switch and just update the spreadsheet. So yeah, we can do that. All right, let's go left to right.
I'm sorry, Julio, can you repeat that again? I have my grandson.
No worries. So yeah, so
Me
since we're gonna be
too.
since we're gonna be doing the 5 different movements, I was gonna ask if you could record all of the movements, and then at the end of class, if you want to stick around and just share those numbers with me, or if you could just type them in on the chat, and then so I have that information, and then I could update the spreadsheet that's gonna be on the front page, just so we're keeping track of our numbers.
Okay, got it.
Yep. So just left to right, your feet are nice and still facing forward. So with these, you want to take nice deep breaths. All right, next we're gonna go with our ab circles. So your lower body stays solid. We're gonna hinge at the hip and come back, keeping your back straight. Lean back. Ah. Let's do 2 more on each side. All right, let's go with big hula hoops, all right? So big hip circles. So stand wide, but a little bit wider than shoulder width apart. And then just start rotating your hips out and about. So just exaggerate the movement. Oof. I think I need a new pillow. Or someone swapped my pillow. We'll go with the tight neck this morning. Switch. Very good. We're gonna do hip openers, okay? So hip openers, we're gonna drive our knee up, out, down, then up, and down. It's working a little bit of balance here. So we'll do about 5 on each leg. And we're gonna switch. So I think I have most of you on my Wednesday class. So I think for stretching, well, for joint health and balance, the joint health part, it's a little bit more challenging to test. So I think what I'm gonna do is just give everyone their own choice of stretches and balance movements that they need flexibility on. And hopefully we could improve on the next 8 weeks with that movement. So, but we'll worry about that on Wednesday. We're gonna do our hamstring stretch. Let's grab our hold, slide your hands down your shins to your ankles, bring your glutes down, and then just bring your hips up, holding your ankles, and then back down. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're gonna do 8, 7, and 8. Very good. Okay. All right. Our last one's gonna be our deep squat. So just a little bit wide. Drop your hips down. And you want to have your come down as low as you can. Torso is nice and upright. And it's up. And then let's shift left to right. All right, so we're gonna be here in this position is a new one. So right hand comes up to the sky and try to turn your torso. And then switch. So then left side, left hand comes up. And let's do 2 more on each side. With like a 2 to 3 second pause. Oh, my hip, it's still so tight. All right. Very good. So that's our warm up there. Let me see. I think I can maybe even track here. I don't want to slow it down too much, but let me see. All right. Yeah, I'll worry about that after. Okay. So we're going to start with the assessment. Okay. So again, don't stress too much about this. I just want to see that there's improvement from the start of this semester or this term until the end of it. So I'm sure some of you, if you've been with me for a while, some of your progress has probably happened dramatically, has probably happened in the past already, maybe last term or a couple of terms ago. So once you start getting better at things, things tend to get a little bit more challenging to improve on them. But if you're a beginner, whatever it is, then that's where you're going to see the most progress. So the first movement that we're going to be doing is going to be either push-ups. So I'll demonstrate, and we're going to have variations of these. Okay, so push-ups, you're going to be a regular push-up, come down and up. Okay, that's going to be your regular push-up. Your knee assisted push-up, okay, you're going to be here. Your arms are a little bit past your shoulder. You could cross your ankles or keep them here. Come down and up, down and up. Okay. All right. So let's just keep it honest, because again, you're just testing against yourself 8 weeks from now. Okay. So we want to be consistent. So let's go ahead and do it at your own count. So I don't want to be military style and be like down, up, down. I don't want to do all that. Okay. So just use your best judgment, and I'll give you folks, let's see, I'll give you folks 1 minute to go. So either knee assisted or regular push-ups in 3, 2, 1. Okay, go. You're keeping track of your own. And if you do 2, that's fine. If you do 3, that's okay. Let's keep going. We'll stop at the 1 minute mark, okay? So if you want to rest a little bit and then continue a little bit more and add on, then keep going. We're at 30 seconds. So yeah, so feel free to catch your breath, come up, and then we'll stop at the 1 minute mark and see how many you did. We have 15 seconds to go. Six, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, time. All right. So put down, if you could write down how many push-ups you did in that 1 minute. Let's write that down somewhere.
You don't need our name, right? Just the number.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna need your name after. Yeah, because I'm gonna be putting it on the board. So, or if you're gonna put it on the, did you just want to put it on the chat right now? I could write that down.
Okay.
Let me just get a little piece of paper. Okay, that. All right. So here we go. And then also, if you could put on your push-ups, if it was knee assisted or regular push-ups, that'd be awesome. Just so I know. All right, so Kathleen. Good job, Kathleen. You got, all right, and we got 10. Kathleen, knee assisted. Good. I'm just going down. Charisse, 10. Okay, Doris, 10. All right, good. It looks like a lot of you were aiming for 10. Knee assisted. Miss Win, 29. Okay. Here we go. Someone's in shape. Let's see. Debbie, 33. $33 regular for Debbie. No, I'm just kidding. Knee assisted. I think you could.
I did
you could
mine on
not
the
get-
counter,
What's that?
against the counter, standing.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Can't
22
get down on the floor.
counter. Okay, so I have Kathleen and Cherise, Doris, Miss Wynn, Debbie, and Lynn. Did I miss anyone? Mr. Ahmed, Ella. Okay. Sandy. Okay. All right. So yeah, and I think this is fine because then it gives our body a little bit of time to rest right now while we're doing this tally. Okay, good. All right. There's some of my returners that, yeah, they're pretty good shape right now. All right. So our next one is gonna be our wall sit. Okay. So the wall sit, I'll demonstrate. And this one, please, please, please be careful. Use your best judgment. So for this one, all we're gonna be doing is finding a wall. Okay, you're gonna come down 90 degrees. You're not sitting. You gotta show a little bit better. You're gonna be here, 90 degrees, and just hold it. If it's 5 seconds, just push away and come up. So I'm just gonna leave the time running for this one, and I'll let you folks know. I'll start counting after maybe 10 seconds, okay? All right, so find your spot, and we're just holding it. And before you fall down or any accidents happen, please get yourself off the wall, okay? All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1, go. So again, just remember the time that I tell you before you stop. 8, 9, 10 seconds, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 1, 2, 3, 4, 25, 6, 27, 28, 29, 30, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 40, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 50, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 60, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 70, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 80, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 90. Wow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 100. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 110. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 2 minutes. Jan, what are you doing? You have legs of steel. 205. All right, Jan, we'll cut it off at 2:30. This might be one of those that, all right, 2:10 for Jan. Anyone else still going? We're at 2:15. I'll stop at 2:30 if anyone else is still going. 2:20, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 2:30. All right. Did anyone make it at 2:30? I know we have a few folks with cameras off. So if you're at 2:30, you don't even have to improve on this anymore. You're already past I think if you're over a minute, like you're golden. All right. So let's see. I'll just add the times next to the names here. So also Walsit. Good job, Debbie and Jan. I think Jan does this on her free time. Okay, so Kathleen, we got 40 seconds. Nice. And 30 seconds. Good. Cherise, are we here? I see Lynn, 40. Good job, Lynn. "90 seconds, Debbie." I don't think I can do that right now. Okay, no worries, Cherise. And then Miss Wynn, 30 seconds. Doris, I think I'm just missing Doris. Okay, Doris, but halfway down. And that's fine. Yep. So maybe Doris, even if next time we only do 30 seconds, but it's with the form we just showed, that'd be great. Okay, so it's improvement in range of motion. So we could always improve on our form or on the time as well. Okay. All right, so like I said, if you want water, go ahead and grab that. Okay. All right, our next one's gonna be for time as well. This one's gonna be a plank hold. Okay. So plank hold, you're gonna be here. You can do knee assisted, where you're here on your elbows and on your knees, or a traditional plank would be on your toes and on your knees. Okay. I think the world record for this, it's about somewhere between 7 and 11 hours. And I believe I don't know. I think this person was probably like in their 50s too. They're a little bit on like just extreme. Like I think they might have been a yoga instructor as well. So we're not gonna go for a few hours for this one. Well, again, we'll try to cap it off at like maybe somewhere between 60 and 90 seconds if we could hold that. When we do these during our strength and conditioning classes, we progress up to 50 seconds. So I wouldn't be surprised if some of you could do that. Okay, so see. Oh, it's supposed to rain tomorrow. I just got an alert. Okay. All right. So again, for time, I'll start counting after 10 seconds and just let me know if you're doing the variation with your knees or regular. Okay, ready? Okay, go. We're doing our planks. So on your elbows and your toes or elbows and knees. We're at 32 seconds. 35, 6, 7, 8, 9, 40, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 50, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 60, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 70, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 80, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 90, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 100, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 150, 1 or 110, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 2 minutes. I'm gonna stop at 2 minutes, Debbie. I think you're still going, but I'm gonna stop you at 2 minutes. All right, good job, Debbie. Nice work. All right. Some of you haven't lost any fitness. That's awesome. All right, so Debbie, was that? No, that was the last one. Okay, full plank for Kathleen, 30 seconds. 30 seconds. And then N, 100 seconds with the knees. Good. Knees. Lynn, 90 seconds. You're in shape. And that was regular, Lynn?
That's on the wall. I can't,
Okay.
just
Oh, that's right,
putting,
yeah. Oh yeah, I saw that. Yeah, good variation. Cherise, 20 seconds. Okay. Right here, 20 seconds. And then Miss Wynn, 60 seconds. Nice.
I can feel it, so I must have been doing something.
Yeah, no. All right, Ella. There's Ella. Ella, where you been? Ella, let me see. Doris, 120. Knee plank. Good job, Doris. All right, Doris. So maybe next time we try the regular one. If you're able to do 120 seconds, then Okay, and then Ella 25 knee assisted push-ups. And then Debbie, you're 2 minutes.
Yeah, 2.
Okay, 2 minutes. Awesome. Good job. And that was regular plank, right, Debbie?
Regular, yes.
De- Debbie's got washboard abs right now. So, all right, we're almost there. So our next one, we have 2 more. Okay. We have, okay, so we could go either way. Well, we have, I don't want the first one to influence the next one. So we have chair squats, which is gonna be for our balance, okay? Or we have and jumping jacks. So is there one that you prefer doing first over the other? Or do you guys not mind? Okay. I'm seeing we don't mind. Okay, so for the chair squats, what we want to do is gonna be this was just we're gonna go for duration, okay? So pretty much until you're done. I'm not gonna time it, you just tell me. So 2 of them that we're gonna be doing is gonna be regular air squats. So if you know you could do these forever, then you're gonna do the single leg, okay? So just regular chair squats, come up, no hands, sit back down. Come up, and sit back down. Pace yourself, okay? Now the next ones that we're gonna be doing are gonna be either leg extended, single leg, and to play it fair, we're gonna just alternate, okay? So that would be 1. And then 2, and 2, okay? Now, if you're a little bit more advanced and we really wanna test that balance, we're gonna elevate the leg, okay? So elevate it, 1, then you're gonna switch, and 1. Okay, so that would be 1 when we do those. So just make sure when you type up your numbers on the chat, you tell me regular squats or one-legged extended or one-legged elevated. Okay. All right. And then I'm just gonna go based off Debbie and Jen and Lynn. When I see you folks stopping, then I'll ask again if we're still going. Okay. All right, so do we know, have we selected which one we're doing? Okay, all right, Debbie. Debbie's gonna be doing the elevated, I'm sure, right? Or extended, all right, cool. Jan, I'm sure you're probably there too. All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1, and go ahead. So just make sure you're alternating so you're not fatiguing one of them. And just keep your count of your own. This good. This might even take a couple minutes, so. There you go. All right. If we're getting tired, then yeah, just pace yourself. Don't worry. All right. Yeah, if we're throwing in the towel, it's time, then just go ahead and on the chat, put in your numbers. Okay, wall sit, 80 seconds for Ella. Very good, Ella. Okay, and this next one was our chair squats. Right. So yeah, so just there you go. Debbie's still going. All right. Jen, one leg. So you were extended, Jen, or elevated?
Oh, yeah, sorry, elevated, yeah.
Okay.
But I could only do it on one side, but I
Oh,
could do
okay.
the two-leg one.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so,
All day. Okay. Yeah, I wasn't
yeah.
sure what your half meant. I'm like, did you just do half of one? Or okay,
Well,
good.
I did one leg, not the other.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
tried.
Jan, do you remember your times for your other ones?
Yeah, okay, push-ups, knee assisted, 0.
Okay.
Wall sit, 2 minutes, 10 seconds. Plank full, 80 seconds.
Okay. And this one, okay, so. All right. All right, here we go.
I think I stopped around 100 or,
Of the chair squats?
no, I did, no, I did, how many? 22, but I'm saying the time because you did.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, for this one we weren't timing, we're just counting for this one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So and extended hands.
I did the regular 22.
Okay. And extended 20. Extended. Okay. Sandy has to leave in 10 minutes. Okay. Lynn. All right, Sandy, no worries. 20 on 2 legs, so 20 of the regular. And then good job, Miss Wen. Miss Wen, so you did 20 extended. Was it 10 and 10 or 20 and 20?
It stands for each legs.
Okay. 10 and 10. The 2-legged one, 1-legged extended. Okay. Kathleen said a lot of the 2-legged ones. Okay. Then. Okay. Chair squats. Ella, we did legs extended, 16. And if you see the information on the board incorrect, just let me know and I'll correct it for that. And Debbie, we had, did I miss yours?
I forgot to count.
Oh.
Just count.
Okay. You did which one? Elevated?
Yes, elevated.
I'm gonna say like 30, Debbie, because sometimes we do like 8 and 8. So, or what, 12? 12 and 12 maybe?
Okay, I'll try to beat that one.
Yeah. I'll put 12 and 12, and then Cherise 15 regular. All right, I think I got everyone for this one. All right, and we have one more, and we are at 9:50. So this last one, and again, so the premise is that we're gonna improve on all of these. So hopefully we're enjoying this right now. So you could assume that for the push-ups, anything that's upper body should help you. Bicep curls, shoulder press, wall sits, that's gonna be leg workouts, lunges, walking around, chair squats. Same thing with balance. And then, so this last one, and then the plank hold, that's really just like more of a core. So planks are going to help planks, but all of these that are going to help each other, it's going to be that main movement. So if you want to improve on your jumping jacks, just do more jumping jacks. Okay. So for this one, what we're going to do, this is going to be for time. So I'm going to have the clock going. So we have jumping jacks. So jumping jacks here, or you could do side step jacks. Okay. So either one. If you think you could do side step jacks for more than 2 minutes, let's give the jumping jacks a try. Okay. So let's give that an attempt. But if we feel like we could only do like 10 seconds of jumping jacks, let's just do the side step jacks. Okay. So because I feel like some of you could do side step jacks for like 10 minutes if I needed you to. So so let's challenge ourselves. Okay. So I'll keep this running for 2 minutes and then just remember your time. All right, here we go. So jumping jacks or side step jacks. Okay, and this is for time. 3, 2, 1, go. Just remember side step jacks. We are right here. And if you're watching the recording, you could just email me your information and I'll plug it in. We're at 18, 19, 20 seconds, 25 seconds, 30 seconds, 32, 33, 34, 35, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 48, 49, 50, 53, 54, 55, 57, 58, 59, 1 minute, 102, 64, 65, 67, 68, 69, 70, 72, 73, 74, 75. Keep going, Jan. 78, 79, 80, 82, 83, 84, 85, 87, 88, 89, 90, 92, 93, 94, 95, 97, 98, 99, 100, 102, 103, 104, 105, 107, 108, 109, 110, 152, 153, 154, 155, 157, 158, 159, and 2 minutes. All right, Jan. Jan could go another 5 minutes, maybe. Good work. All right, that was our last one, our last testing movement. Okay. Let me see, Cherise. We got our 15. Who else? Wait, that results was done. Yep. And we have 30. Who else is here? Okay, no worries, Kathleen. Cherise, 30. Sandy, oh, Ella, 45. 45 regular. Sandy, 70. Sandy, I'm gonna need your other numbers too, because I think I just have a couple here. Side steps, 1 minute 34, Miss Wynn. Debbie, 70.
Are we giving you the number we did or the seconds?
No, just the time that.
Oh, okay. So
Sure.
mine should be 70 then.
Okay, Lynn, 70. And that was a side step?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so I just had, who did the side steps? I think I just had Lynn here. Or, yeah,
And
Lynn.
Miss Wynn, P8, PN. Looks like she did side.
Oh, Miss Wynn, okay. Yep, good, thank you. All right. How are we feeling?
Tired.
Tired? Okay, yeah, awesome. All right. Yeah, so this was, yeah, like I said, we won't be doing this every term. We'll probably do this on the last day, which would be in December. So let's go ahead and do a cool down. Okay, I was just stretching. I think I did one of them with you folks and walking around. So I burned, not doing very much. I burned 115. You guys are probably closer to like 200 calories, hopefully, or so.
Yeah.
But let's go ahead and then just get a nice little cool down right now. So let's sit on that left hand. Bring the right hand over. Stretch. So yeah, so I was just alerted that it's probably gonna rain tomorrow. So just keep that in mind. I'm supposed to be in Long Beach in the afternoon. It looks like the rain should be stopping by 4 p.m., but who knows? Let's go ahead and switch. And remember, you're not getting graded on your effort or anything like that. We just want to see improvement between now and the next 7 weeks. So
That'd be great.
I always, me personally, had trouble staying in shape the time between Thanksgiving and New Year's. Um, I, I don't think it's just me. I think it's
I'm gonna
most
say you're all by
people
yourself, right?
bring that right arm across. So
Yeah.
yeah, there's like for myself, we have Thanksgiving, of course, and then we have our team banquet, which is like a feast for us. And then there's a few birthdays that land between December 10th and December 20th. And then there's Christmas Eve and Christmas and New Year's Eve and New Year's. So it's
There's like 6 birthdays in that time.
it's a lot of celebrating.
Yeah.
And I'm traveling to Nashville and a few days after this class is over. So and then Dallas right after that. So yeah, I have to be on it. All
You
right,
should turn
gentle.
But Nashville is like, it's on my bucket list.
Okay, yeah, yeah, it's on mine too, and I was just wondering, so trunk rotation. I was like, I don't know if I don't have any affiliation with the town or relatives out there. So I was like, I think I have a friend that was interested in going, so I was like, let's go. I haven't been to Tennessee, and I doubt I'll be out there for any business or anything like that. So switch. All right, let's get our left ankle on that right knee. We'll switch. All right, and let's just finish off with our ABCs. So we'll do a little bit of ankle mobility. Like I mentioned, if we need to get any more workouts in, um, then there's a YouTube channel on the front page. There's a few more videos if you scroll down. Yeah, and you could take a look at the modules too. This gives you a little bit more information on the benefits of strength training. Um, so again, so the idea of strength training with switch is to, just not just like lean out and lift weights, but the purpose of it is to make your muscles stronger. And at the same time, if your muscles are stronger, then that's going to help your bones become stronger as well. Um, If your muscles are weak and we're not using them very much, then there's not much of a need for your bones to be strong either. So they kind of complement each other. So we want to make sure that we have strong bones because as we age, our bone density does hollow out a little bit. Does inside our bones, it's the marrow. It's like a sponge in there, and the less you use them, the more space is created, and they become more brittle. So we want to make sure that they are as strong as they could be. So, all right, very good. Do we have any questions before we sign out?
Nope.
No questions. All right, folks. Well, send me your information if I missed it, but I think I got most of your info. Sandy, yeah, if you could email me your information. And then sometime later today, or if not tomorrow, I'll update the spreadsheet, but I'll send the recording later on. But any questions before we head out?
Nope.
Right. And then if you don't mind, if you could also text me or email me what that final goal of yours is that you want to see improvement on, do that. And like I said, it could be something as I just want to walk more. I want to increase my walks from 10 minutes to 20 minutes by the end of the semester. It could be something like that. So,
Okay.
all right, folks.
Great. Thank
Take
you.
care. All right, everyone. All right,
Bye.
bye. And then Jan, you have your numbers. I think you're going through them, but I have everyone's stuff here on this envelope. So
Julio,
right.
did you get my jumping jacks? I didn't hear you say it.
let's see, Doris. Was it 25?
Okay, I didn't hear you say it, so I just
Oh,
wanted to
okay.
make sure.
No,
I
I
was
got it.
pretty impressed that I did it regular.
Good, good, yeah. So that's awesome. Yeah, keep it going. Yeah, there's some of you that surpass that, some of these exercises. I think we don't need to improve on them very much. Maybe we got to find something more challenging.
Okay, thank you very much.
Miss Ramit, take care. All right, and then maybe some burpees for you, Debbie and Jan. So
I'm on slow mode
Yeah, I am
today.
now in Bangladesh.
oh, okay. All right, Miss Ramit, enjoy your trip. All
Bye,
right, take
Julio.
care. Bye,
Okay,
everyone.
thank
Bye,
you.
Debbie. Bye, Cherise. Bye,
Bye.
Ann, Sandy.